Welcome to Google Drive tutorial. In this video, we're going to go over the following. We're going to show an introduction to Google Drive, how to create a Google Word type doc, a spreadsheet, a PowerPoint slide, and how to share a Google Doc. So sit back here. I'm in my Gmail account right now, and I'm actually just, as you see there, the mouse cursor there, I'm just going to go over to the top right corner here. And I will click on through that. So this is kind of the entry point for the Google Drive. So as you see up here, I've got all kinds of options, and I'm choosing the Google Drive. It kind of looks like the recycle icon. So as we go through here, I'm prompted here for a Google Drive test drive. I'm not going to do that at this point, and just click next. You'll see this on a lot of times from Google, that they want to get you updated on something, and it's actually a really cool thing. They're always wanting to educate people. That is a great thing about Google. Okay, so I'm using the mouse cursor here, and I'm just inside my new Google Drive. I haven't put anything in here. Down here on the lower left-hand corner where the icon is, I see that I have 15 gigabytes of data that I can use, which is so awesome that I've got this space. So I'm taking the cursor here and I'm looking, and I see I have no space used up by Gmail or Google Photos or the Drive at all. As I move the cursor up here, I'm looking at my Google Drive. I've got one PDF file in there, and that's basically a how-to file. I'm going to create a new folder here. As I take the mouse cursor here, I'm actually going to just name a folder. I'm going to call it My Documents. And this is going to be my Documents file. That's where everything is in here. As I go over here, you'll see I can click on it different places, and it'll show me the only thing I have in here right now is relatively nothing. There's nothing in there. So as I take my mouse cursor, I want to create some documents. So I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to create a Word style Google Doc. This is basically Microsoft Word, only Google style. And so I'm going to go and create just a short doc here. This is the story of my life. I'm going to click up here at the top, and I'm actually going to name it. And this is going to be the start of a journal file. So I'm going to go and name this thing My Journal. And the cool thing about Google is that it auto-saves. You don't have to worry about it. So I'm taking the mouse cursor up here now, and I've renamed it. I see that. All changes have been saved to the drive, which is so cool. Don't have to keep worrying about if I've edited it or not. So now I've got this My Journal inside my Google Drive. So we're going to go from here, and I'm going to create some more stuff. So we're going to go back into New again. That nice big New button up there is always cool to have. So anyhow, right now I'm actually making a spreadsheet. So I'm going to go and rename a spreadsheet. And as you just saw, I'm doing the same thing. I went up there and I had an untitled spreadsheet. And I'm going to call this one Our Budget. And click OK. I'm clicking up here now on that. And I'm just going to go show real quickly. If you're familiar with Microsoft Excel, this is basically, it does a lot of the same things. So I'm just putting some quick numbers in here real quick with the mouse cursor, and I can go and shadow them. And down on the lower right-hand corner with the mouse, I've got the sum already added up. So again, a lot of the same features that you'd find on Microsoft Excel. So it's a great thing. This is all free. If you just tallied up just those two programs in the Microsoft realm, well, you'd know what you'd be paying for it. So now I've got in my documents here, I've got a couple files. I've got a journal file and a budget file. I'm going to go into New again, and I'm going to create actually a PowerPoint slide this time. So if you go up here, click on this yellow icon like I just did, I've got presentation here, so I can choose my different themes. I'm just creating something here that I could use in a photo show. So I'm going to call this one our summer vacation, or what we did last summer. So I'm putting this one, Our Summer Trip 2014. So this is something relatively new. So this is kind of cool because you can go and just do this on the fly. And this Google Drive is available anywhere. You can be in a cafe, you can be on your iPad, you can be anywhere and create and have access to these files. So this will be one of the first slides that I use in a presentation. And here, same thing with the mouse cursors you just saw. I'm just renaming it. All of Google Docs do the same thing. You've got in the top upper left corner, that's where you're going to go and name your project. So it's Summer 2014 Trip. And again, all changes saved in Drive. So I'm going to exit out of that now. And just to show where we're at back in the root of everything. So if I go down here, I've got my journal, I've got our budget, and I've got our Summer 2014 Trip. I've got this PDF file here. I'm thinking of moving that. So let me show you here with the mouse cursor how I move that and get it into that folder. I'm going to actually take it and drag it and drop it in. So now if I click on my documents, I've got the PDF file in there that I just dragged in. I've got my journal, I've got our budget, and then I've got that PowerPoint slide. As I take the mouse here now, I'm going to go and show you how to do a share file. And we're going to go into, if you look at the top there and see my mouse cursor there, I'm just going over it and I'm clicking on this share icon. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to share your doc with other people. So you've got a lot of options. You can share it in Gmail, G+, Facebook, or Twitter, as you see the mouse cursor up there. Right now, it's set for me privately and also for all things Star Wars, my Gmail, and I'm the owner. So now I'm actually going to go and I'm going to share it with someone. This someone actually happens to be one of my own emails. So just for testing, I'm going to go and put this in. And what this is going to do, I highly recommend you to, on the lower right-hand side there, I'm going to do it with this share as well, is I'm going to click this to send a copy to myself. And you can also see up there where you can send it to add comment. This is very important depending on the recipient of what you want them to do with this file. So I'm going to send a copy to myself. This is a great reminder, and click on that. So I will show you towards the end of the video there in my Gmail account where I received that. And that is a cool feature, especially when you start getting really busy, and it's a great reminder. So we're going to click Done now. So now we've got in my drive here, as just kind of an overview here, we really haven't used any space. As I take the mouse cursor here, I'm just going through and reviewing what I've done so far. So at the top there with the mouse cursor, I'm going to look in my trash. This is the next thing I'm going to show you, and I'm going to go into my documents, how to delete something. So let's say on my budget here, I just don't like that, or I'm going to need to start over. So I'm going to actually drag that into the trash there. I don't know if you saw that with how easy it is, but it's a really cool option to be able to do that. So now my budget is in the trash, but I haven't completely gotten rid of it. It's just sitting in there. So you really want to check and make sure, do I really want to get rid of that? Because once you do a final, that's it. It's gone. So under my recent tab, I've still got my 2014 trip in there, and I've got my journal. So here's the final review of what we've done. I'm logging back into my Google Drive. It picks right back up. If you look at the activity there, I've got my budget that I moved to the trash. I've got the 3 items that I created. They're all listed there. It's really cool to have this great quick synopsis of everything that I've done. So it's also a cool reminder. It's like, oh, that's right, I put that in the trash. And so maybe I didn't need to put that in the trash, or I need that back. So in this case in point, I'm going to just assume that I needed that file back. So I'm going to actually go and re-delete that. Reinstall that app that I put in there, or the file. So if you go into budget again, I clicked on that with the mouse, and I'm going to hit restore as I'm hitting restore up there. And now if I go in there, you'll see that my budget is back. That budget file's back, and there it is in all its entirety. And I'm going to click to take that out of the trash. And as I go back to the root now, I can see that that is in there, and it's obviously still named our budget. And you can, I'm just showing up there at the top, you can make comments and what have you, especially if you're sharing this back and forth, which a lot of times I do with files, and we need to have comments done on them. So my drive, again, I've got my documents folder that I created, and we're going back to where we started, and I clicked on the Gmail account. So now we're coming back into Gmail where it basically started this video. If you look down here, as I take the mouse cursor, you will see that I have this Google, my journal that I shared out. So that's a good reminder of me. It's like, oh, that's right, I shared that out. And even more so, it's like, oh, that's a reminder of that project. So that's always a cool thing. So as we end this here, I really thank you for watching. And if you don't mind, please subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks.